The tolerance praised today is nothing like the tolerance taught in Scripture. Hear this clearly. The Bible speaks of a tolerance shaped by mercy, conviction, and steadfast love. But the world pushes a tolerance built on silence, surrender, and spiritual weakness. Don't fall for it. We are called to discern, to judge with righteousness, not arrogance. If a fellow believer wanders into sin, you're not commanded to look away. You're called to step toward them with truth wrapped in compassion. In that moment, you tolerate the person, not their sin, because Christ tolerated you long enough to save you. That is real biblical tolerance. And the sooner you understand this, the stronger you become. Because when you refuse to tolerate lies, confusion has no place to grow. And without confusion, the gospel cannot be diluted. Reject the sin, never the soul. That is the intolerance heaven honors. Look at what the world's false tolerance produces. It asks you to carve pieces of your own faith to feed those who intend to poison it. It invites you to open your home to an enemy who has already toppled entire nations. And when someone asks, "But doesn't Jesus tell us to love our enemies?" Yes, he does. But loving your enemies does not mean surrendering your foundation. To love them is to desire their salvation, not to lay down your armor. If the enemy enters your space, you better be anchored in conviction and armed with the word. Your home is not his battlefield. It must stay fortified by the Spirit of God. This is why you must return again and again to Scripture. Without it, even love becomes distorted, and tolerance becomes the weapon that erodes truth. Never trade truth for comfort disguised as tolerance. And if we're speaking honestly, let's start with you. Pick up the Bible and stop tolerating your own ignorance of it. Stop tolerating the silence that comes when you don't know which verse to stand on. Every time you bend truth for the sake of peace, you plant a seed that will one day rise against you. Face it, it's not just unbelievers you've tolerated, it's yourself. You, who cannot recall the verses that confront darkness. You, who claim you die for Christ but stumble when praying for your own family. There's a weight on your tongue every time you try to speak a prayer. There's a chain around your legs every time you reach to lay hands on your children. Throw away the shame. Throw away the fear. Before God, what power do they have? Pray with the voice that shakes. Read Scripture even when nothing makes sense yet. Step on your fear and crush it. It is not from God. A man who knows Scripture deeply will spread more truth than one who only sings in a pew. All these years, you've tolerated a version of yourself that barely knows what God has spoken. You look helpless when they twist Scripture and you have no answer. They challenge God's actions in the Old Testament, ripping passages from context, and you freeze. They question why Jesus prayed to the Father if he himself is God. They mock the mystery of the Trinity. They quote, "Turn the other cheek," as if it means surrender to evil. And you stumble, not because the word is weak, not because the world is right, but because the messenger is empty. Your silence is loud, and your spirit is starving. Wake up from this spiritual sleep. Stop tolerating your own emptiness. How can you reflect God's glory when you barely know the story behind his words? Intolerance should begin not only with the sins of others, but with the weakness you've allowed within yourself.